on this computer. Here we go. All right.
We got it this time?
We got it this time.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, take two. With me today is special guest and very patient guest. Funk legend, originally from Chicago, but lives on the north side, loud and proud. I've got Mr. Jellybean Johnson, very well known with the funk band The Time, also known as the Original Seven. He's also been in post-time projects with The Family, also known as fDeluxe.
Yeah.
And he's got his own new project called the Jellybean Johnson Experience with the new album that just dropped last month on November 20th, day after his birthday. And that's called Get Experience.
Yeah, experience, the Jellybean Johnson Experience, yeah.
You got it. Jellybean Johnson, Jellybean Johnson Experience.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming on the Purple Kurt podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm hanging, man, considering these are tough times, man.
They're tough times for everybody.
Tough times.
Thank goodness January 20th will have a glimmer of hope, I think.
Oh, my God.
Am I okay
I cannot
saying
get here
that?
fast enough, bro.
Can I preach that?
Oh, my God. You can't make this kind of stuff up, man.
No, you can't.
It's been crazy. It has been absolutely crazy. And this administration has not helped us.
No.
As a matter of fact, it's made it worse for us in a lot of ways.
Speaking of gaslight, right? The
Yeah.
fDeluxe sound that you're all on, that's definitely been the word on the word of the
hasn't it?
unprecedented.
It's almost like we were,
stuff.
it was almost like we, saw in the future that we's going to be dealing with some kind of, there's so much of that kind of stuff going on. Gaslight, grifting, all that kind of crap, man. It's crazy.
So on a positive note, though, you've got a couple of wonderful things going on, including what's right behind on my background here. You said you have a Houston special event you're doing December 10th.
Yeah, it's called Another Lonely Christmas with Craig Alexander, and he's based out of Houston. And it's December 10th, and I'll be a guest on there. So.
Oh, and that's a reference to the Prince B-side, right?
Yeah. Prince Day.
Got it.
Prince Day in Houston, yeah.
Excellent. And then you yourself just dropped an album, Get Experience, little reference to Jimi Hendrix.
Well, right? I grew up on Jimmy, so
come on. Hey, I'm a fellow lefty here, born in '70, the year he died. So
if you're a lefty, then you know. But yeah, December 16th, we're gonna have performances, interviews, special guests, all that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it, and it'll be virtual, and like.
No, of course.
And
now you got
7:30 p.m. Central.
Got it. I had a question about your special event, which you can get on your website at Jellybean-Johnson.com.
Yeah.
Now it's $15 for the album release party, right?
Is it? I think that's right.
Yeah, 50.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
now,
I had to ask management also.
Oh, right. Hey, that's okay. Now, let me ask you, can one purchase it and watch it later, or is that in the moment that you have to watch it?
Wow, I don't know.
I think it's once.
Did you watch it then? I think if you have a ticket, I think you can go back and watch it.
Beautiful.
Jeff Luna knows that.
All right, Jeff, and shout out to your manager, Jeff Luna, and your lovely partner in crime, Marty Bragg, Martha,
That's the boss.
For setting this all up so that we could speak today. I'm just in awe that I'm here with you, man, because it's not just a word on the street. You keep it 100 at all times.
I try to, man. It's probably been to my detriment over my career. Sometimes, I have so many ruthless rich friends, that I've dealt with over the years. But,
But it's a trait. But you got your soul. You got your soul, though.
Yeah,
Nobody can take that away from you, John.
No, they can't. They can't. Yeah.
Can I call you Uncle Bean? Do you mind?
Well, it's funny. A lot of my younger musician friends, that's exactly what they call me.
I am younger.
A lot of youngsters, man. A lot of great musicians.
I don't know where to begin with you because you've got such a storied 40-year career, but I definitely want to focus on what you're doing in the now because you're a double threat there, man. Not just on the drums, but you also play some kick-ass guitar. And I wanted to explore a little bit, if you don't mind. Because I grew up as a white teenage suburban kid before I started getting into all the funk and all. I mean, I was a big Roger Troutman Zapp fan when I was V103 in Baltimore, where I'm from. Used to play all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I heard you guys do The Stick and 777, 93, all those classic time tracks. But then I find out that you're a bit of a hard rock and metalhead.
Yeah. I always was, and it was different for me too, bro, because I'm black, and black guys ain't supposed to really be into that, But
well, wait a minute, you all invented the rock. You all invented it, though.
Guitar. Yeah, but it still, black people. A lot of black people I know have aversion to loud guitars, and I had to learn to get past that. Yeah.
Lord. So
but yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and when in 1989 for the Rhythm Nation album for Janet Jackson,
yeah.
you had this little ditty known as Black Cat, which I always snickered at because you got Led Zeppelin's Black Dog.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of the funky R&B answer to that. We'll play a little sliver of that if you don't mind.
All right.
This is the Michael Wagner video mix, I might add.
Oh yeah. Michael Wagner, another our iconic rock producer.
If you recognize that tune, the man to my screen on the other side here wrote this for her. And that's Nuno Betancourt from Extreme on the video mix there. So
yeah, Nuno's bad boy. He's from Extreme, man. He's I used him for that for that remix there for her video and stuff, for the track and stuff. I remember cutting that in LA with Michael Wagner and Frank Zappa's studio.
You got to be kidding me! That's Frank Zappa's.
That's right. We recut the overdubs in Frank Zappa's studio. Yeah.
His birthday's today, as a matter of fact.
Who, Frank Zappa?
No kidding.
Get out of here. See, that's another thing being black. I'm not supposed to know about him.
Listen, wait a minute now. You know about Michael Wagner, Double Trouble. My good friend John Gallagher, bass player, my first guest on this podcast, actually, from the metal band Raven. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the metal band Raven. Metallica was their opening act on their first U.S. tour. Check them out. Check them out. I think you'd like them. In fact, Michael just produced their latest album, Metal City. So I bring that up because it's not often I get to talk to a member of the Purple Kingdom who happens to be into the hard rocker stuff. Yeah. And I thought of you actually when Eddie Van Halen passed not long ago. And
that hurt me to my soul, bro. Me and Marty were fortunate to see both versions, the one with Dave and with Sammy. And it was just, I've never seen anybody. And trust me, I know some world-class ninjas on guitar. But Eddie was one of a kind. I mean, seriously. I mean, what that man could do with a guitar was absolutely frightening.
Absolutely.
And to sit out there in the audience and, in front of thousands of people and watch him, man, just go at it. I'd be like, how in the hell is he doing all this stuff? Yeah, he was definitely an alien. There's no question about it.
Absolutely. And I always tell people who are not necessarily into the loud guitars like you talked about, I'll play them Cathedral.
Oh, yeah.
Off the Diver Down, which sounds nothing like a guitar.
No, he's so much depth to him, man. It was so much depth that people don't, they're realizing it now probably when he's gone, but, he was just one of a kind. Yeah.
So I want to make a personal connection to seeing you live for the first time. When Prince passed away April 21st, 2016, the very next week, you and Morris Day and the current version of The Time had a gig at a West Virginia casino, which I got to see. I had bought the tickets months in advance, and you guys played a casino gig.
Yeah.
And did a lovely video. Listen, I get that. And you guys are working musicians. You work hard, except for obviously right now you can't.
Right now,
But you did a lovely tribute. And what blew my mind is I knew you wrote Black Cat. I followed, you wrote for New Edition.
Nona Hendrix, Alexander O'Neill,
Sherelle,
yeah.
And at towards the end of the show, Morris switched to the drum kit.
Oh, wow.
You switched to, I think you took Tori's guitar.
No, I had my own guitar.
That's right. Yeah. You had your own guitar. Thank you.
But yeah, we did that about 6 months before Morris jumped on some bullshit and stopped doing it. But it used to freak people out because I would go out front and I would play like Black Cat.
You did. That's what you played. And I was like, son of a bitch, he probably played on the damn thing too. It blew my mind. I'm like,
it was quite popular all around the country. We did it for about 6 months and then Morris decided he didn't want to do it anymore. So it's cool.
Well, that's all right. Because the funny thing is both of you guys, going back to the early days where you were in Flight Time together with Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, yourself, Monty.
Yeah.
And you're like 15 years old, playing playing all these sorority, fraternity gigs, all kinds of club gigs. Being better than anybody had any right to be as a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
right?
we were advanced to be 15, 16 years old, but, and it's funny too, man, because, we really, the black bands couldn't really work in the regular clubs. We tried that, but they were saying you needed more white people, whatever. And we only had one or two white people in our band. But anyway, we played all the sororities and stuff like that. And we did a lot of, some of the black clubs we did. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we were advanced, just like, Prince had Grand Central. They were like 15, 16 years old. And we were just advanced. We were as good as any adult band in the city, but we were just young, so. Mm.
Yeah. What a sweet revenge you'd get many years later when you would go out on tour with Prince, and the first gig you played with the Time Live was in front of 26,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. Jesus.
In Detroit.
I would have scared anybody doing that for the first time.
Dude, I cannot tell you, man. I was frightened. Because remember, I come from playing in little places and stuff, in front of a few people and all that.
Got it.
A little sorority, a little nightclub here once in a while. But 26,000 screaming people, and they know who you are. And, by this time, the Electrifying Mojo had made Get It Up, a huge hit.
The legendary DJ.
Yeah. Yep. And it was unbelievable, man. I mean, you couldn't hear yourself think. So I had to get my composure and not freeze up. But it was great. It was great.
And on that tour, I mean, I'm trying to avoid as many, because you have to answer a lot of the same questions every interview that you're on.
It don't matter.
So how did you know Prince? And well, I want you yourself, all individual members of the Time have a unique story.
Yeah. We do.
Just all by yourselves.
Yeah.
To say nothing about, you collectively. I mean, we could say a lot about you collectively.
Yeah.
But going back to the Time for just a hot second, technically you didn't play on the first two records, right?
No, we didn't.
And you didn't, but not even Ice Cream Castles, except for the live version of The Bird, which was recorded at the First Avenue, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So now on the Pandemonium album, did you play on that one? Like Blondie?
We actually played. I'm on the ballads. Sometimes You Get Lonely, and
which Monty wrote, I believe.
Yeah, Monty. And Monty. I distinctly remember me and Monty cut that. We were the first two to play our tracks together in the studio for that, and then the guys put all the cool stuff about it.
Oh, that's
so I really cool. I'm glad you brought that song up there, because I disagree with my legendary friends, rich friends that were in the band and stuff. But I mean, Warner Brothers wanted to put that out as a single.
That would
have. And the rest of the guys, Jesse and Jimmy Terry, they wanted a dance track. They were, no, you're gonna put a dance track. And and me, I was pushing to put that out because it sounded like Philly International. And I'm almost positive it would have ran the number one.
It had that Holland Dozier feel to it. It had that Holland Dozier feel to it.
And I just really thought it would have been a big hit if they had the powers that be had let it come out. But they didn't.
Or at the very least, sure. Yeah. At the very least, it would have had that kind of Quiet Storm playlist.
Yeah. No question about it.
You got Prince's Adore. You could put Prince's Adore.
Yeah.
Next to that
that's another classic ballad. Yeah.
And next to that tune, absolutely. Sometimes I get lonely.
Yeah. It's classic.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Listen, the hips would be shaking in a whole different direction in a whole different room.
Yeah.
No,
I've been saying that publicly. I still believe that. My friends don't have to agree with me. That's okay. We're 60-some years old now. We can disagree about shit, but I really believe that would have been a huge hit.
I love, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, you are the best when it comes to just leaving.
Keeping it 100, like you say, bro. That's what I do.
Listen, the only way to live, and I turned 50 this year, and I know about the don't give a shit a meter. It just every year after 50, I guess.
Man, Marty gave me a huge party, man, for my 50th birthday. And I never forget, and and it was jam packed. That's reason it's so ironic now that we social distancing and can't be around each other and stuff. But it was so packed, man. And I just remember just how happy I was to see all the love that was generated to me that night. Because don't many people get to see 50. So that's a thing in itself.
Look,
so it was great.
Let's not even go to the fact there's not a lot of black men that make it to 50 for various.
Not a lot at all. Still to this day, man. Yeah, we're endangered species around here with the police and their bullshit, And Trump and his bullshit, you know, we got tough times. You know, so.
So if you don't mind me bringing up for a second,
okay.
where were you? Because I left the door open in case you were comfortable or not comfortable with this. Where were you when the whole George Floyd thing happened?
When it happened? Oh my God. I was here. And once again, and you know, and you got to realize too, he was just one. We've had 2 or 3 incidents like that. You know, we had one kid killed right in front of his daughter was sitting in the back seat and he got shot and up front in front of his girlfriend, his daughter. So it was a pattern around here. And we finally got tired of it. And you know what the difference was? And I don't want to be that racist about it, but I'm going to be. It didn't change until white people got tired of it too. And that's what happened here. And everybody started, you know, we protested, they burned shit down, whatever.
Yep.
But it was a long summer, and you put that on top of the civil unrest that we had, and then COVID and all that stuff, and Trump costing us our jobs and all that. And it's been a terrible time. It really has. But it had to happen.
Yep.
You know, and I got into it with some of my friends, once again, some of my friends on the other coast, like, you know, why y'all burning stuff down and all that. And my whole thing is, you do not live here. You live in Cali or wherever the hell you live in, and y'all got your own problems. You know, this is real. We got tired of it.
Yep.
You know, we got tired of it, so we did something about it. And we marched, and we Black Lives Matter, and we protested.
Absolutely.
And that's what we did, you know. Now, whether it was right or not, it doesn't matter. But we know what was wrong, what happened to George Floyd. And like I said, everybody, anybody, I don't care who anybody that's got a soul to see a man calling for his mother, you know, on 8 minutes, and a policeman has his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yep.
And for what? And his partner stood there and watched. That, come on. You know, it doesn't matter if you're white or black or Hispanic or whatever. No. It's wrong. Yep. It was wrong. And that's all. I was here and I was in the middle of it. So, yeah.
Well, I can tell you as a gay man myself, I had felt othered to a degree throughout my life, and I'm in a multi-racial relationship as well. My husband is Asian American and is from Hawaii.
You know what I'm talking about.
But even I, during Pride Month in June, took a fucking knee to the fact that gay pride meant nothing that month. Black pride meant everything that month. Let me just keep it 100 with you. I said, fuck it. Gay pride, whatever. There are folks that are hurting, and all the unrest that was going on, and folks who didn't get their real American history about things like Juneteenth.
No.
And learning about the black middle class that had been stifled and suffocated for. I mean, we could go on all about. We
go on and on. You know, like Marty, my wife has a bunch of gay friends. You know, so she's always been in gay pride. She's always had my kids and my daughter. They've always embraced that. You know, I've had a ton of gay friends over the years and stuff. But even all of you, everybody was appalled about that George Floyd shit. We knew it was wrong.
No question.
You know, it don't matter what you do, what you know, what nationality you are. Wrong is wrong, and the police has to stop killing us. That's all we were saying. Stop killing us. You know, we just had an incident the other day. They just shot another black dude. You know, and that's it too. They need to realize mental health is a real problem in society. Woo. They got to come to grips with it. They got to train these guys to know how to deal, because there's people out here hurting and they got mental health, and they, you know, they can't help it. Even though we might want to say they might do some horrible things or whatever, but there's something going wrong with them, you know. So shooting them dead is not the answer, you know. So we just had one. They just shot one the other day. He had done some bad stuff. He had assaulted his girlfriend, whatever, and they shot him 3 times. They shot him in the stomach and twice in his leg, and the dog bit him. So now they just fired the police that did that. But that's what I'm saying. It's obvious this guy had mental health problems. He was butt-ass naked. You know, so obviously, you know, you don't run around unless there's something wrong with you.
No. And with everything going on, and people being isolated, sequestered in their homes, and maybe and a lot of people are unemployed around the country. I was on unemployment for a couple months myself, you know, like I told you earlier before we hit record.
And unemployment's about ran out, you know, so, you know, we can't get a stimulus. The Republicans can't agree on nothing. You know, it's crazy. It's a terrible time. And Marty, I've always said has been absolutely the worstest year in my life, but I'm determined to get through it, you know, in one piece. I thought went back in 2016 when Prince died, I thought was the worstest year of my life.
Yep.
This is a lot worse than even back then.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll tell you, I remember when Prince died, I was a teacher at the time, and that July, I was to come up the end of June, July, I drove to Chanhassen and went to First Avenue.
Yeah.
I came up
people from all over the world. Yep.
4 days before that is when Philando Castile had gotten shot and killed, even though he told the police officers all about the fact that he had a licensed firearm in his glove box.
What I'm talking about. We had a history. This is why we had what happened this summer, bro. Because, you know, once again, you know, you tell them, first of all, they stop you on these bogus shit. And I can say this because I've been stopped. I have my own issues with, you know, police
being stopped for no reason.
Yeah, being stopped for driving black. And, you know, I got a couple DW. I got all of that, you know, and they are not nice about it. And they're not going to show you any love. But you're worried about your life. And we're not supposed to be going through that when there's somebody that's paid to protect us.
Yeah.
That's
protect
what their
and
job.
serve.
They're supposed to protect and serve. They're not supposed to be shooting us and maiming us and belittling us and throwing us in jail cells and doing all these horrible things, and then it's okay. Well, you know, so I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Listen, you're welcome, because I can tell you, you know, it's just, you know, when I always thought of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and this is, of course, growing up with listening to Prince's music and all the other acts that are associated with him in that area, you know, we thought about the utopian existence that Prince wanted to have in Minneapolis with songs like Uptown. And it was but that. Yeah. The reality of that is that Minneapolis wasn't that.
Exactly.
and we didn't know that till
you didn't know that, but
you guys spoke up about it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I mean, I hate to speculate what you think Prince would think, and I hate those kind of questions. I do. But if Prince had been around in 2020, what do you think his response to this would have been? I assume it would have been musical form.
It would have been musical form. It'd have been about 2 or 3. So remember when this shit happened in Baltimore? Remember
I'm from there. I'm from there, and I was at the Baltimore gig that he did for Freddie Gray. I was there.
There'd have been a bunch of songs about this. And he was very social conscious, man. He really was. Even though, you know, me and him had our problems and our differences, but he was very, very social conscious, man. And he loved Minnesota. He really did. So that, you know, that was a big thing. So yeah, he'd have been out here in the Black Lives Matter movement, and he'd had shows and trying to do what he can. You know, I do know that for a fact.
Well, you know, when I was in Baltimore at that time. And, you know, we were on lockdown for 2 weeks and had the National Guard, and I was going to work every day, passing by all these tanks, and it was scary. Yeah. And I will tell you, the week before that, Stevie Wonder had played his Songs in the Key of Life tour. It did this
Baltimore.
Life. And several days later after that, that's when the whole Freddie Gray thing happened. And
God. It's
just you know, here we came of Love's in Need of Love Today.
And then you got this.
Stuck in my head, and then this shit happens.
And then crazy.
But I'll tell you, and of course, Prince wasn't. I guess he was at least saying that he was a Jehovah's Witness at the time. I don't know whether that's true. But you know, let's not get it.
That's another story, bro.
Off the record, right?
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when he performed on Mother's Day in 2015, May 10th, I'll never forget it. And to get to, it is what our city needed, and all the money went to the Boys and Girls Clubs.
He would do that kind of. He did that many times in many places.
In your neighborhood, in the neighborhoods around you. I mean, he kept it real on the north side, the south side, and every side of Minnie. And that's.
He loved Minnesota, bro. He always came back, you know, and he could live wherever the hell he wanted. He had residences all over the world and stuff, and
sure did,
and different places. But he always would bring his ass back here. He would show up here, and you know, he had his own place inside Paisley and stuff. So he never forgot.
Yeah, you yourself We're talking to you from Brooklyn Park. Am I not
Yeah,
correct?
I live in the northern. I've lived here in Brooklyn Park, the suburb, for almost 40 years, bro. I had a house for 30 years, and then I lost that, and then I downsized it, and so I have a townhouse here, and it's just me and my guitars and my clothes and me.
Listen, what else do you need?
Yeah.
You just keep it real. I'm telling you,
it is, bro.
Uncle Bean. If I may be so bold to say, Uncle Bean, dude, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to remember this day for the rest of my life. So I really appreciate you doing this with me. But have you talked to the rest of the guys in the time and how they're doing through all this crazy crap?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep that 100 too. I haven't,
okay,
I haven't.
That's fine. Hey.
I haven't talked to Morris. The last time I talked to Morris, we did a Punk Corona thing back in July. It was virtual, because that's all you can do now is virtual.
Sure.
Gigs. And he said like 2 words to me, so that I haven't talked to him. Me and Jimmy and Terry are not getting along right now because, I got my reasons for them too. They know it too. And I haven't seen Jesse. Me and Jerome fell out. But, that's who we are. We're old, stubborn black men, and it'll get resolved one way or another.
Listen, when you're a bunch of when you get a bunch of alpha males who are extremely talented in one room, what the hell do you expect to happen over 40 years? You're not going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns.
On everything, and there's different levels. Some of us is rich, some of us is not. Some of us can have jobs, some of us don't. And that's how it is. That's just how it is. So we keep it moving, as they say on the as Jalen Rose said, we keep it moving. So that's what we do.
Listen, all you can do, you can hide under the bed. Or you can get on the horse and keep it going, because that's
what you got to do, because life still goes on, bro. It still does.
Sure does. Sure does. Yeah. So with your event that's coming up December 16th, who are your special guests going to be?
I'm trying to have everybody, with this record. First of all, this is a window into my life. I never wanted to do the solo thing. I always, I've been a team player all my life, and I always thought I had it in me. I had different friends encourage me to do it, but I just never thought I could. For one, because I don't sing. I can tell I'm a producer, so I can tell people what to sing, but I always wish, I could sing. I couldn't, so I didn't really press the issue. But now, with all the things that went on, and now we are 2020 and stuff, and I just figured, it's time to do something, something different now, and try it, and so I got all these fabulous musicians and great friends that came on my, reached out to me and was there for me and stuff, and put it out.
Well, let's hear a little bit of the music, shall we?
Okay. Yeah, that was it. Put some jelly on it.
We'll put some jelly on it.
Yeah, that's the first one. Put some jelly.
That's the first one.
That's the very first one.
I tell you, the one that I've got a question about. So I'm going to say right now, your boy gave me the whole entire album to listen to today, which was an unexpected, delightful prize. And thank you again to Jeff Luna for that.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
It is a great album. There's some unexpected little twists and turns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Uncle Charlie and Uncle Bean need to work together at some point, because I think you two would.
I would love that. I'm glad you brought that up, because the time was in concert with the Gap Band so many times. And Uncle Charlie always showed. My wife would tell you, he always showed me a lot of love. And he loved the way I play the drums. He always teased me.
You talk about. Let me tell you,
he's ridiculous, man. He is a legend. He's a true black legend. There's no question about it.
And look, but some of the stuff that you're doing on this album is right on, and the production, may I say, is right on par with a lot of his newer contemporary stuff.
Yeah. The kids, call him, just like they call me Uncle Bean, they call him Uncle Charlie for a reason.
I've seen Uncle Charlie with Stokely, and Stokely opened up for him. I saw him a couple of years ago.
Stokely loves him.
Your boy there, Stokely, and you produced a whole album from Mid Condition.
Those are my musical sons. Mid Condition are my musical sons, man. That's another iconic band, man. God bless Stokely. I remember. I'm gonna tell you a little short story about him. Me and him a few years ago we got him to drum for fDeluxe, and we played Australia. And I never forget, me and him went to lunch one day, and this is about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and we were talking. And we was just saying, I was saying, Stoke, all we have is our name. You know, that's all we got, bro. So, you know, we got to start to build our brand up now. We done did the band thing and all that, you know. No offense to our various bands and stuff, but it was time to, you know, to build our names up. And I grant you, soon as we got off tour, he did a solo record.
Which he played a lot of when he opened up for Charlie.
Yeah.
For those playing at home, because not all my friends listen to R&B and funk like I do. I have a lot of, you know, Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band fame, but he, you know, who has exploded with his solo career.
Yeah, he's
how can you not want to have some that now? The singer, there's a female singer. I didn't get all the credits, and I'm sorry that I didn't. But who sings on "What Is This Feeling"? Because when I heard the opening to that, I'm like, I thought you were going to take it in like an Evanescence type of direction, you know? Because
there's two girl singers. One is Ashley Tamar. You know, Tamar was with Prince for a number of years. Remember when Ashley Tamar. She was remember when he had the twins dancing, and she would be in the middle. I
was at the club gig that they did at Club Nation in DC, and she dragged me on stage, and I got to dance at that show.
That's Taylor.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I was the last person. I kid you. This is before Facebook. She brought me up on stage. They're doing a cover of "Hollaback Girl" by Gwen Stefani.
Oh yeah.
And Prince is playing background guitar and that stuff like that. He stops the band. I'm on stage doing a poor white man's version of the Running Man. Yeah. And I didn't, and he purposely stopped the band to see who would stop dancing, and I kept going.
You kept,
and I got made fun of, and I got the look that I'm sure you're familiar with that look, like, those from him, with his little 4-inch glow in the dark LED purple heels going.
Yeah, I'd seen that show, trust me.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, to me, that's a badge of honor right there. I got the side eye from Prince because I can't dance for shit.
Trust me, a lot of people's got that side eye, Ron.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's an honor.
Except I didn't get fined for it, so that's.
No, you didn't get fined for it, so you did good.
No, actually, she's great.
She's absolutely great. And then I have another girl singing on a song called Envy, which is a band called Illism.
Ooh.
And it's Fancy and Envy. And you know, my daughters and stuff seem to love that song. It's young people stuff. So I want to put a little bit of both. I want to put some young people stuff. I want to put some stuff from the street. That's what Straighten It Out is. And I want to show my rock side a little bit too. So.
Oh, you did, but you got another one with a family member too. Your nephew, right? She Can Get It.
Oh, She Can Get It. That's Law, yeah.
This one
that's
right
Minneapolis and New York, yeah. And you know, it's funny. The thing about Law is it's funny. It's because every time the Time played New York so many times over the years.
Yeah.
And he would always be at the club, wherever we played in New York. Law would show up, and he was just, you know, he loved us. You know, I was his uncle, and he showed us all the love. He showed Morris, Jerome, all of us. You know.
Oh man.
So when I started doing my project, he reached out like, Uncle Bean, you know, can I, I got something. You want to check it out? I said, yeah. And it fit the record perfectly. He got Tony M from MPG.
I've met Tony the Deacon himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's funky, man. It's from the streets. You know, it's a cool song. So
nice callbacks to Get Off and Call.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The minute you hear Tony's voice, you hear Call the Law and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, listen. Yeah. I was privileged enough to meet Tony after they did a gig in York, Pennsylvania with the members of the NPG with, help me out, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, that's one of the singers,
Oh, he was wonderful.
Yeah.
And, oh man, what a show.
Yeah.
And
they're good, man. They got a record. I guess they got a project coming out too. I haven't seen it yet, but they got one coming out. Yeah, so stay tuned for that too.
Oh, thank you. You heard it here first. maybe second, but I tell you, well, Jellybean, I'm going to tell you right now, this has been incredible. So if people want to find more out about you, you got several different formats. You're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook.
Jellybean Johnson. On Facebook, Jellybean Johnson page. My real name, Gary Johnson page. That's if you want to hit me personally. You can hit me on that, Gary with 2 hours. Yeah. And Jeff Luna, Marty Bragg. You know, any of those. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I tell you what, Is there anything you would like to leave us all with about what's coming up, or
Well,
anything you'd like
just
to
check
add?
us out on the 16th and stuff. And
Okay.
you know, it should be a lot of fun. I'm trying to do events and promote this. Like I said, it's a new adventure for me. You know, it's a new journey into my life. It's a window into my life, and I got all these fabulous musicians and people on here that show me love and showed me some love. And here we go. You know, we have Ronnie Baker Brooks, Monty Moore, and Ashley Tamar, Islam, you know, Law, you know, different people on here, man. So
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, best wishes to you and Marty and Jeff and
Yeah.
the folks in your life. And if I don't talk to you before all this happens, have a blessed Christmas and a happy 2021. God, can 2021 get here?
Can January 20th come quick enough? And
Jesus,
wear your
take
mask.
the wheel.
Wear your mask, people. We got to get to the other side. We got to get to the other side here.
Please.
All right.
Please.
Take care of
Thanks
yourself.
a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.